Have you ever had a feeling that you just couldn't explain? Maybe you thought about someone and seconds later your phone rang and it was them. Maybe you've walked into a room and instantly felt uncomfortable without anyone saying a word. Maybe you've had a dream that came true with exact detail. Or maybe you've looked at someone like me, and you've wondered, how does he do that? Was he born with a gift? And could I ever do something like that? Could I ever communicate with the spirit world on my own? I want to tell you something today. Something that so many people ask me about. I know that so many of you have been told that psychic ability, mediumship, intuition are gifts that are reserved for just a few special people. That only certain people are born gifted. That only psychics can communicate with the spirit world. But listen, after traveling to hundreds of cities, meeting hundreds of thousands of people, and giving over 10,000 readings, I can tell you something with absolute certainty. Every single person was born with psychic ability. Every single person. And guess what? Your psychic ability, your special gift is just like your fingerprint. Your gift is completely unique. No one receives information exactly the way that you do. And you might be thinking, well, how do you know this? Well, for those of you who are here, I'm Matt Fraser, America's top psychic medium, and I am here with you today. And here's the only promise I want to make to you. By the end of our time together, you're going to know that every single one of us was born with a unique psychic gift. Now listen, if someday you decide that you want to develop your own gift even further, that's another conversation. But today is about proving that this gift is real and it's been within you. It's been with you all along from the moment that you've been born. So do me a favor. Tell me where you're tuning in from, because I see that so many of you are here from all over the country and all over the world. And let me know, have you been here for a while? Is this your first time? Are you new to my page? And have you ever had a gut feeling that turned out to be right? Type yes in the comments, because today might change the way that you see yourself. And you might start to recognize a gift that you've had all along. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that people have is telling me that becoming a psychic medium means gaining a gift. That's not true. You don't develop this gift. You notice it. You don't create it. You learn how to trust it. And you learn how to live with it. Think about that for a minute. Your gift has been with you your entire life. What's missing isn't ability, it's confidence. Every person carries intuition. Every person carries some form of psychic ability. Every person has the ability to receive information beyond the 5 senses. Ready for the difference? The difference is that some people trust it. Most people just explain it away. Most people keep it hidden. And here's something that's incredibly important that I want you to know. No two gifts are alike. Just like no two fingerprints are alike. Some people feel. Some people see. Some people hear. Some people simply just know things. Well, guess what? Every single one of those ways is beautiful. It's a beautiful way to connect. There isn't one that's better than another. Spirit speaks to every single one of us differently. That's why comparison is the fastest ways to lose confidence in your own psychic gift. If you've spent your life thinking, I'm too emotional, I'm too sensitive, I just feel things that other people don't, I absorb everybody else's feelings, I want you to hear me right now. You are not broken. You are gifted. You've probably spent your life experiencing something called clairsentience. Have you heard of this? Most people think of it as being an empath, right? Well, that's a psychic ability of feeling. Empaths are not weak. They are receivers. They are tuning forks for energy. Energy just flows to them and they pick it up. And many of the greatest psychics and mediums begin exactly there. Now, here's something that may surprise you. Psychic ability is not limited to psychics. Some of the most successful people in history used it every single day. They just didn't call it psychic. They called it something different. Here's a few examples, right? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan talked about seeing the plays in his head before it happens. What he was experiencing was clairvoyance, right? Nikola Tesla said that he could completely see inventions inside of his head before creating them. And again, clairvoyance, right? Steve Jobs built one of the biggest companies in the entire world. Everybody knows the iPhone by trusting his gut. Oprah Winfrey calls her intuition her GPS. Tom Hanks has spoken about feelings, right? Feelings, which stories what stories are are there right before he even reads the script. It's clairsentience, he can feel it. Conrad Hilton talked about the inner voice guiding him to the biggest business decisions of his life. That's clairaudience. And Albert Einstein called intuition a sacred gift. Mozart said that entire musical compositions that he worked on arrived in his mind fully formed. Okay? Matthew McConaughey, right, openly speaks about premonitions guiding his life. That's claircognizance, the knowing. Now listen, this is why I'm bringing this up. None of these people called themselves psychic. They called it instinct. They called it a hunch. They called it a feeling, right? They called it a sudden download that just came to them out of the blue. But that's exactly what psychic ability is. And it's the very same gift that's inside of you right now, right at this moment. So let me know, which one of these sounds familiar to you? Just think about them for a minute. Are you a feeler? Do you feel things deep within your body? Are you a seer? Do you see things play out in your mind? Are you a listener, right? Where you hear things, you hear your name being called, you hear things before they happen, you hear familiar voices. Or are you a knower, where things just pop into your mind like a sudden download? Let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about mediumship, because psychic ability and mediumship aren't exactly the same thing. Psychic ability is reading energy. Mediumship is communicating with spirit. Now I want you to think of it like this. Think of it like a radio station. Psychic ability tunes into the energy around you. Mediumship tunes into heaven. Mediumship tunes into your loved ones, your angels, your spirit guides, your pets on the other side. And every single medium begins as a very intuitive person at first, right? That's exactly how it happened for me. When I was growing up, I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand why it was different. I simply noticed things that other people didn't. I'd feel things on such a strong, sensitive level. I'd know things that I couldn't possibly know. I'd sense things, right, happening with other people that didn't even involve me. Eventually, I learned that these were not coincidences. They were spirit's way of communicating. One of my favorite stories happens after one of my angel events. A woman came up to me shaking. She was literally like trying to process her thoughts and feelings. And she said to me, Matt, I think something is wrong with me. And she was deeply concerned. And I looked at her and I said, why? And she said to me this, I always just know things. I know who's calling before the phone even rings. I know when my kids need me before they even reach out to me. I know when someone is lying and they can't be trusted. I know when something bad is about to happen. It sends chills down my spine. It makes me shake. She said, I spent my entire life trying to ignore it. And I'll never forget this because I smiled at her because I hear this story at least once every week. I looked at her and I said, you are not ignoring your gift. You've been using it your entire life. You just didn't know what to call it. That's what happens to so many people. They aren't missing psychic ability. They're missing understanding, right? Let me share with you this. I remember another woman. Her name was Jennifer, and she didn't believe in psychics. She didn't believe in mediums. She didn't believe in connecting with the other side, right? I don't even know if she believed in God, to be honest with you. Well, listen. She only came to one of my events because something inside of her told her that she needed to be there. Notice how I said something inside of her, right? Well, after talking with her, I realized that every major decision that she made in her life came from intuition, right? She trusted it in business. She trusted it with people. She trusted it within life. She trusted it to come to that event that day. She just never realized it was psychic ability. And I'll never forget something that happened to me when I was 19 years old, working as an EMT, right? I remember I was in my training hours. We were in the ambulance. We were driving through intersections. Everything looked normal. And then I heard one simple word inside my mind: wait. I remember that. I was literally in the passenger seat and I said, wait. There was no reason, no explanation. I just felt it. Like someone just stood in front of me and said, wait. Guess what? Seconds later, a car flew right through the red light. And listen, if we had continued, we would have been hit. No question in my mind. That's when I learned something. I learned something really important. Intuition isn't loud. Fear is loud. Intuition is calm, but strong. It whispers. If you've ever experienced something like that, if you've ever had something that happened in your life that stopped you in your tracks, something that told you yes, no, stop, wait, type yes in the comments. Because I know that many of you have. Now, I want to give you something practical, right? Let's do a little exercise together. I want you for a second to just close your eyes, just for a second. Think about someone that you absolutely love and notice how your body feels. Notice the warmth feeling. Notice the openness, right? Notice the peace that you get when you're thinking about that person. That right there is your yes signal. It's your psychic ability telling you yes. Now think about a situation where something's going completely wrong. Just think about it in your mind. I want you to feel the tightness, the heaviness, the contraction, right? That happens the moment that you think about that situation. That's your no. Do you see what just happened? Your body already knows the truth before your mind even catches up. That's intuition. That's that feeling within you. This is what I'm trying to get you to recognize. And here's something else that I want you to remember. You always control the doorway to being open to this gift. You decide when to open it. You decide when to close it. And guess what? Here's something that I want you to know. Spirit, when you learn how to tune in and tap in, will always honor your boundaries. Always. Now, before we get into other things, right? I want to share with you something. Something that I've worked this entire year on. Something that I've been doing for the past year that I've never done before. For years, people have been coming up to me, leaving me comments on Facebook, right here on YouTube, sending private messages, right? This happens all the time after online readings, after television appearances. People come up to me and they ask the same question. Matt, can I learn to do this? Can I learn to become a psychic medium? Can I learn to strengthen my own gifts? Can I understand how spirit communicates with me? Well, listen, for years, I've wanted to create something that would help people discover the gifts that they already have. And guess what? This summer, I've finally done it. I'm working on it right now. And I just announced that I've created my very first medium mentorship. It's what I call the invisible gift. And I couldn't be more excited to share it with you. This isn't just an online course, right? It's a 6-lesson journey where you're going to join me and I'm personally going to teach you how to recognize your psychic abilities, understand your unique gifts, and begin trusting the messages that you've already been receiving. And guess what? I am not doing it alone. My mom, Angela, who's also a psychic medium, is joining me and helping you through this journey as well. Now, many of you already know how incredibly gifted my mom is. Well, together, we're going to walk beside you every single step of the way. We'll teach you about the 4 clears. We'll also teach you how spirit communicates and how to tell the difference between intuition talking to you and fear speaking to you. We'll also talk about how to recognize signs, right? How to build confidence in yourself and in your gift, and how to begin using your gift in everyday life. Because here's what I've heard after thousands and thousands of readings. Psychic ability isn't about becoming someone else, right? It's about becoming who you already are. Now, I want to give you a little look inside the invisible gift so that you can see exactly what we've created. You ready? Take a look. Mom, this is so exciting. We have so many people here and with us that are just stepping into their journey of psychic ability, of learning about their intuition.
And the main thing too is that my mother always taught me was that you have to trust it. We all have intuition, but you can't second guess what your gut is telling you.
Now walk us through, we have a couple different divination tools. Just bring us through exactly what's here on the table.
Okay, so, like I said, these are the original tarot cards. My mother made me these cards. Oh, look at Matthew. This is the card I picked, and we all know there's a baby near for you. See how it works? I mean, I didn't know what card I was picking up, but see how it works?
The card says baby. Yeah, I see that. What people really need to realize is that the gift comes from you. It comes from within you.
See how it's starting to move a little bit? See the chain? Look at the chain. See the energy in the chain?
And you're putting that right in the middle of the X, right?
Yes.
So you start off in the middle of the X.
Right.
You focus on a question.
Yes. And then it will start to move. See how it's moving?
You have to work at it. It's a muscle that grows stronger. If you put in the work and you start using it, the stronger it becomes.
Absolutely.
I hope watching that gave you a better understanding of what mentorship and mediumship is all about. I truly believe that every person deserves the opportunity to discover the gifts that they were born with. If you'd like to join me for the invisible gift, here's what I want you to do. Type the word mediumship right now, right here on YouTube, right here on Facebook, right in the comments below. Or go to my website, meetmattfraser.com, and click on courses. Now listen, if you go to my website, meetmattfraser.com, and you click on courses, you're going to see it right there, the invisible gift. Or if you type the word mediumship right in the comments below, I will personally send you the link where you can come and join. Now listen, I'd love for you to come and join us, because imagine where you could be 6 lessons from now. Imagine finally understanding those gut feelings that you've had your entire life. Imagine being able to trust yourself. Imagine recognizing spirit signs with absolute confidence. Imagine finally discovering the invisible gift that's been inside of you all along. And remember, the purpose of today wasn't to convince you that I have a gift. It wasn't to show you, right? It wasn't to show you what other people could do. It was to show you what you can do. You don't become psychic. You don't suddenly wake up and have abilities that nobody else had. You simply remember. You simply remember what's already been written in your soul. You notice, you trust, and you strengthen the gifts that God placed inside of you from the very beginning. If this message spoke to you today, do me a favor. Click the share button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because there are so many people walking around believing that they're broken, believing that what they're going through is just anxiety, is just being too sensitive, when in reality, they are gifted and very gifted. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And I'm so happy that you're interested in discovering your gifts as well. So don't forget, if you want to join me and my mom and take my course, The Invisible Gift, type the word mediumship right down here in the comments below on Facebook and on YouTube, and I will send you the link. Or go right to my website, meetmattfraser.com, and click on courses, and I will take you on this incredible journey of discovering the gift that's already been within you this entire time. I hope to see you in class.